This time, let's prove this Pythagorean identity. We have 1 plus the square of cotangent z is equal to the square of cosecant z. Please remember that when we talk about the perspective of real numbers in terms of theta, we have this identity 1 plus the square of cotangent theta is really equal to the square of cosecant theta. Or in other sense, we also write it a different way because this is commutative. We have cotangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to the cosecant squared theta. This time, it's also true for this identity for complex numbers. It's just that we are using z instead of theta. So in order for us to show that, we are going to guarantee or use first the given identity for cotangent and cosecant. For our cotangent z, as identified in our previous video, it's actually the reciprocal of tangent z. So we can have here I times e to the power of iz plus e to the power of negative iz. All over, our denominator would become e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. That's the denominator for our cotangent z. Okay? As for our cosecant z, it's actually equivalent to the reciprocal of sine z. So we actually have here 2i, again, 2i over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. Okay? So we're going to use this first identity here because our proof allows us to move from the left. You have 1 plus the square of cotangent z must yield to the square of cosecant z. Whatever be the process here, it would be equivalent to that. But for us to be guided, let's try to identify here what would be the equivalent form for the cosecant squared. So we're just simply squaring the entire expression. You can have here 2i over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. Sorry, it's e to the power of positive iz here and e to the power of negative iz, and you square that, right? So we will actually be guided of our target. So we will be we would know later on if our process is leading towards that. If you would like even this to be expressed further, take note that you can actually use here the power law. This would be equivalent to, okay, the 4i squared now. Okay, so that's the square of 2, the square of I over, we have here the binomial expression on our denominator. Let's not break this or expand that. I would just like to bring your attention to what will be happening in our numerator. Take note, we have here I squared, and we know that I is equal to the square root of negative 1. Hence, I squared must be equal to negative 1. So the form of our square of cosecant z is equivalent to negative 4 over, again, the square of the entire binomial expression, negative I z. Okay? So somehow, if your process later on will yield to that, then clearly, you're going towards the direction of proving the identity. Okay? So for that, let's leave at that in the meantime and just simply start with our goal here. So we have here 1 plus, of course, we can write it like this. Okay? The square of cotangent z. So with that, I might also be using other page here later on, so please bear with me. We're going to have 1, sorry, that's 1, plus the square now of our cotangent z, which is actually this one here. And hopefully, we could reach it to this point, which gives us the square as intended for our identity. That's actually I times e to the power of iz minus e to the power, that's plus, right? Yes, plus negative iz. So all over, we have here denominator e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. And you're squaring that because that's the square of cotangent z. So similarly, we're going to use here the power law, share to all the terms there. So what will happen for the next step is simply 1 plus I squared. And you have here e to the power of iz plus e to the power of negative iz, square that, over our denominator e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz squared. Okay, so we're going to express iz here, I squared, as this equivalent, okay? So we're going to express it in that manner, so it would have to be negative 1. We are also going to expand the numerator But for our denominator, let's just stick as to this, because when you're looking at our target, they almost look alike already. If we're going to expand this, and later on you will still express it this manner, so we'll still be using factoring. So do not expand the denominator in the meantime. Only the numerator, as we are going to combine that with some of the items later on. So by leaving the denominator as it is, what will happen for our numerator is this. It's still a big 1 plus negative, I squared is now negative 1, right? Times, now expanding our numerator. Take note, it's a square of a binomial expression. So it's actually equivalent to the square of the first term. You have plus twice, because that's plus, twice the product of the two terms, and plus the square of the second term, e to the power of negative iz, and you square that. All of this will still be multiplied with negative 1. Okay, take note for that. But our denominator, as mentioned, let's stick to what is our form at the in the meantime, because it's already okay, and we are already sure that our denominator would look like our target. So for our numerator, simply simplify all of them. So what will happen here is, I would still want negative 1 here. I'm going to what do you call this one, simplify plus negative 1 later, after we are done simplifying our terms in our numerator. Take note of this, by power law, that's actually equivalent to e to the power of 2iz. For our second term, we have here the multiplication law, same basis, add exponents. So you have 2 e to the power of 0, because that's iz minus iz. Then you have here plus e to the power of negative 2iz, similar to our first term. You have here the power law. Okay, all over the same denominator. Now this time, since it is a big 1 here, and since we have this denominator, to combine them, we also need to look at the least common denominator. Take note that the denominator of 1 is just 1, so the least common denominator is the original denominator as it is. However, when you look at the term here, we're going to divide by that and times with that here. That's actually writing the entire denominator here as well. The reason for that is because if you're going to cancel that, this is equal to 1, right? So that's the process of getting the LCD. Then still, I'm now going to use here the negative, because plus negative 1, I'm going to use here minus the result of the second term, iz plus, take note, e to the power of 0 is just equal to 1. So plus 2 plus e to the power of negative 2iz here. Now, I mentioned earlier that we will no longer expand our denominator, but in order for us to combine the terms of our numerator, this one here, which looks like our denominator, must be expanded. But again, leaving the denominator as it is, because our denominator is already okay. We're just going to expand the numerator, or the first term of our numerator. So applying the same process as this one here, when we expand this binomial expression into this form here. So similarly, it will go on like this. E to the power of iz, you square that. Then minus 2 e to the power of iz, e to the power of negative iz, plus the square of our second term. Of course, it's positive because the square of negative is positive. And then later on, allow me to distribute now the negative sign and remove the grouping symbol. What will happen here is negative e to the power of 2iz plus 2, that would be minus 2, and minus e to the power of negative 2iz as we distribute the negative sign. Still, the same denominator, e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz and squared. Now, similar thing earlier, multiply that. So you will have your e to the power of 2iz. Then, similar thing here, loss of exponents. That's actually minus 2 e to the power of 0 plus e to the power of negative 2iz. So that's 2iz. Then, minus e to the power of 2iz minus 2 minus e to the power of negative 2iz. All over the same denominator, e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. You square that. This time, allow me to copy this one and add another page. Let me continue the process here because the spaces are not enough. Take note, this was our last form. It has actually e to the power of negative 2iz. Okay. In terms of our goal for cosecant, I'm gonna write the goal here again. The square of cosecant z is equal to, you will have here the square of 2i, if I'm correct. Yeah, 2i over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. You square that. And our goal is actually this one here. If we could arrive to that, and then we're already fine. It's actually equal to negative 4 over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz squared. If we could reach that, definitely we are done. So what will happen here is, we have a positive 2iz, e to the power of 2iz, and a negative of that. So they cancel out. They equal to 0. This again is equal to 1. So negative 2 times negative 2, I have negative 4. Next, take note that I have here plus e to the power of negative 2iz and a minus of that. Again, they will actually cancel out. So that's actually just negative 4 all over the same denominator we kept earlier. See that if you were able to simplify this numerator, you will still need to factor that and later on arrive at this one here. So we have shown that we already have 4. Okay, so allow me to just add some steps. We know that actually it could be written as negative 1 times 4, right, over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz squared. Would like to really capture this one here. We just arrived into this one, but I would like to capture this form. That's actually when you take the square of that, okay, getting the exponent of 2, that's actually just I, okay, because that's actually, or you would like to write it as square root of negative 1 and times 2 over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. Or we know that square root of negative 1 is just I. That's why you have here 2i over e to the power of iz minus e to the power of negative iz. You're squaring that. This, as mentioned, equivalent to that. Okay, so that's actually the square of cosecant z. Again, let me do it. Right, z, which gives us the form of cosecant squared z. We have now shown that this identity is true, starting with 1 plus cotangent squared z, using these specific identities and processes yielded to this result here. This shows that this Pythagorean identity for complex numbers dealing with trigonometric functions is true. Thank you very much for watching.